We're back now, 8:41, with the truth about germs. An article in the Washington Post this week explores the idea that our obsession with being clean may actually be making us sick. So is it possible to be too clean? Dr. Keri Peterson is an internist and contributor to Women's Health magazine. Doctor, good morning. Nice to see you.
Good morning, Matt.
It seems like we're saying it's good to be clean. It's good to use some of the products that are out there in the market, but it is very possible to take it too far.
It's absolutely possible to take it too far because you can create superbugs. These are bugs that develop the resistance to the active ingredient called triclosan, and they become not only resistant to the triclosan, but they become resistant to antibiotics.
So, see, when I hear about superbugs, I think it's because we take too many antibiotics. Does this also apply, talking about things like antibacterial hand sanitizers and things like this?
Yes, you are correct that the overuse of antibiotics creates superbugs, but antibacterials do as well. And then we have no means to treat them because they're resistant to the antibiotics also.
So this is about moderation. Now, I think it's well known that I'm someone, I'm a little bit of a germphobe, not as much as people say. I don't use Purell, for example, or other products like it more than once a day. Is that within the safe zone?
It is. I mean, of course, proper hygiene is necessary to prevent the spread of germs, but washing your hands with soap and water is sufficient as long as you do it properly. 20 seconds with soap and water, which is the amount of time it takes to sing happy birthday twice.
Right, okay.
Using Purell once a day is fine, but you don't even need to do that if you have access to soap and water.
But for these people that you see carrying around the Purell in their pocket and 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day they're taking it out and they're putting it on their hands, those are the people that this isn't a new study, by the way, that this information affects.
That's correct. I mean, the hypervigilance is where the problem is, because not only are people using antibacterials on their hands all the time, but there are so many new products available on the market. There are slippers, socks, mattresses, even toys, even chopsticks. So we're getting a little carried away. We're going a little too overboard, and it's not necessary, and it's costly.
We've touched on antibiotics a couple of times, so let's make that point again. I mean, more and more these days, at the drop of a hat, people don't feel well. They go to their doctors, and unfortunately, a lot of doctors give them antibiotics.
Yes.
How far over the line are we with the prescription of antibiotics?
It's a big problem, in my opinion. And in my practice, I try to teach my patients the difference between a virus and a bacteria, that a virus does not get treated with antibiotics and it's not necessary. But oftentimes, patients will resist that. They really want to walk out of your office with a prescription. So physicians really need to be armed with educating patients about this, and patients need to be aware that it's not always necessary.
The other thing that came to my mind, doctor, when I read this information last night is how many times are you on the street and you see a new mother with a young baby, and they constantly have those wipes out, those antibacterial wipes, and they're using it on the baby or the child's hands and everything around that child. Is that a good idea or a bad idea?
That is a bad idea. The issue with children, which is even more important than in adults, our immune systems develop in childhood. If we are not exposed to germs on a regular basis, we're not able to properly build up our immune system. And that takes us into our adulthood. That makes us more likely to be prone to illness and allergies and asthma. So kids do need to be exposed to germs.
To me, the headline of this is just, again, good old-fashioned washing your hands, best way to go.
Everything in moderation, yes.
All right, Dr. Keri Peterson. Doc, thanks so much.
Thanks, Matt.